Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your one and only Stepbro coming to you with a new review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Lansen C. Lansen C is currently available in the store for 15,000 gold in a bundle with the camo and all the bells and whistles, or as the vehicle itself for 12,500 gold. In my opinion, I think the vehicle is a bit too expensive and it might not be the best vehicle for everyone, so I would hold off buying the vehicle unless you are a collector. However, I find that the vehicle has its strong points. It is a very mobile vehicle. For me, it plays like a Leopard 1, just without the DPM and the penetration. If you're running the same equipment as I am, like I am running gun rammer, supercharger, and refined gun, it kind of makes it feel like a very snappy vehicle where you can snap your shots out from undercover and you might have to use a lot of pramo. However, most situations, if you put yourself in the right position and you're flanking around, you're not really going toe to toe with certain vehicles, you might be able to get around with using AP. Look at the view range as well. It's very, very good, 302. Everything else should be straightforward. And let's take a look at the values of the vehicle. Armor is not exactly there, as you can see. Armor is pretty low or non-existent whatsoever. Good news though, unless it's a 152 millimeter gun, you won't really get HE'd frontally, but on the sides, you will get HE'd. Penetration is also not the best. You will see later in the pen test that it is not the best thing. Alpha's 320 with your AP, 280 with your Pramo. HE is a big shell, but your penetration is only about 50. Acceleration is also pretty decent. It's a pretty mobile vehicle with 18 kilometers per hour reverse speed. You have to remember that. And we're gonna go to our favorite test, the speed test. Now for the speed test. Remember, we're running this at 300% speed. We're going up against a Progetto 46. This is the same top speed. They're both at 55 kilometers per hour. Very similar power to weight ratios as well. And you can see the Lansen C either is a bit faster in certain sections in the map, or it's the same speed as the Progetto 46. So if you've owned the Progetto 46 or you've seen the Progetto 46 in a match, it will probably be around the same speed. And now to the penetration test. Remember, we only have 202 millimeters of AP pen on the Lansen. So, like a Chimera hull down, you can't really get through except through the hatch. You can't really pen it with AP. However, once you switch to APCR, you should be able to get through the vehicle very clearly. So if you're trading against a Chimera, and as you will see in a different angle, the Chimeric is pennable. The lower plate is pennable with AP. It's enough. However, usually when it's hull down, you might have to PCR. The third phase is just unpennable with AP. And that's the only way you're going to get through a Chimera. It was just a very common vehicle you'd see in Tier 8. Next up, we're going to take a look at vehicles like the KV5. This is one of the most armored vehicles in the tier after the buff. You can get through the hatch with AP. I suggest just using APCR for the cheeks. You can also pen the lower plate with AP. It might look red, but it is pennable. Again, I would suggest going for a different angle with Pramo on vehicles like this. Or like in the next case against a T32. The hatch is pennable with AP. You can get through with it, but generally I would suggest just shooting the lower plate with AP or going around and finding a different angle, not face his vehicle front on, because you will probably bounce. Now for the armor test, we're going to take a look at a Nomad look shooting the Lansen with AP. It is one of the lowest penetration vehicles in tier 7, so you can get bounces from lower tier vehicles like the Nomad, but once it switches to APCR, you're pretty much going to get cut through. HE obviously will not pen you, maybe on the rear, but normally it doesn't. Now this is a Progetto 46 looking at the Lansen. AP is you can still bounce shots. Once you load APCR, again, it will cut through your upper plate. HE, you cannot penetrate. Now, the next vehicle we're taking a look at is with an SU-130 PM. This is running calibrated shells, and it would be good to know that you won't get HE'd frontally by a 130mm gun. Your hatch is also safe from HEs from a 130mm gun, but if it's an ISU-152, SU-152, or a Smasher, they might still be able to cut through your hatch with HE. But from an SU or 130mm gun, there's no chance of getting HE'd. At least frontally. Looking at the sides, you can get HE'd on the hull. You can't get HE'd on the turret face, which is also pretty good. But again, with a bigger gun, you might get HE'd on the side, so please keep that in mind. And this is a T-49, it's one of the vehicles you will hate the most as a Lansen player. If you get YOLO tunneled by a T-49, he will be able to HE you side on. Or just spam heat and pull back and, you're going to get pinned anyway. So just be careful when you fight T-49s. You can play against T-49s. They are very, very annoying, and they just need to fire one shot and you lose like 700 HP. So please be aware. Now, a little gameplay advice for the Lansen C. You want to keep yourself hull down. You want to keep yourself at a distance from your enemy. And you want to play peekaboo. You don't want to trade even with a vehicle like an F-331, a Comet, or in this case, a Nomad. He might be getting troll bounces off the gun mantlet, the hatch, but as you can see, it can go through, straight through. It's very easy to pen the Lansen C. There's not much armor even when you're hull down. So I would advise you, to make sure you can flank around, go to a different spot, make sure you are not the target of the enemy. And if you're running the same loadout as I'm running, it helps me be a bit more snappy. I can semi-snipe with the vehicle and get shot normally people will not expect. Remember, you use that view range of yours, your 302 millimeters of view range, and use it to your advantage and make sure you get those snapshots on people who don't expect where you are. Playing peekaboom is a priority in this vehicle, so you don't die. But that doesn't mean that you have to hide and never spot for your team. You have that view range, you can go spot, but you have to try and be safe, right? You don't have to be YOLOing in. So as I am right now, I was frontline in the start of the game, but now I'm trying to spot people up and pulling back into cover when I find targets to shoot at. So this is what I meant by semi-sniping. I'm not going in for a brawl. I'm trying to conserve my HP. And since with the equipment that I'm running supercharger, it makes the gun feel so snappy. The shells just hit the target the moment I click or I press the button. You do have some decent speed. Your penetration's okay. It's good enough. So you see with Lova, you just have to load Pramo and cut through it. But remember, even vehicles like the Lova, they do have more DPM than you, so you have to be careful. You can try to side hug like what I'm doing. That is another option, way to play the vehicle, side hug taller vehicles. And that's all I can give you guys. Whether or not you buy the Lansen C, that is your choice. I would say hold off for now, but thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again next time. Stepbro signing out.